Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to the Groundhog Day hop. This hop has just a little bit of a twist. Instead of scrapping someone else, we're going to do something we've done before and scrap ourselves. And this is a layout that I'm going to scrap today. And the mastermind behind this hop is Jacqie from JQ Crafty. So a fun and just a little bit different hop. I am going to be using Echo Park, and I'm going to scrap these two photos of my grandson and his mama. And I'm showing again this layout that I'm going to be scrap lifting. And the parts of Echo Park that I'm going to use is spring flowers and bouquet of flowers. They're pretty close to the same. There's a lot of the same papers in there. Really similar, same colors and everything. I'm showing that really old embossing plate. And it's from Sizzix, and it's got like a texture on it, kind of like linen maybe. And I'm going to use that for my leaves with that punch right there. My background is pretty much going to be green. Yeah, I love green, so I decided I'd make it green. There was plenty of green left in those paper pads. And the angles, if you use a 6x6 paper pad, you can make the squares on this. I believe I did it in a class with Christina Sorge, the first one. I believe that's where I done it at. And I thought, I will do this one again. I am going to cut the edges off, of course. And when I flip it back over, you will see that I have got all the pieces on there. I figure y'all have done that before. So yeah, they're all on there and ready to go. I'm going to make up some flowers first. I'm showing that when I cut it twice, once in the green and once in the pink. And then because I knew it was going to be super time consuming and I probably couldn't hold it well enough in the right angle for you all to see it very good, I cut the leaves off of one, and then the other one I cut the little buds off. And I'm going to layer the two together. And I first thought I'd just cut the little buds off and put them on the green, but then I decided I wanted them in the back and the green in the front, so I had to do it the opposite way. And I figured, why have the little tiny buds when I can do the whole branch? Well, not the whole branch, but all the part that you've seen in pink, and just layer it that way. I've got 3 butterflies. I showed the dies earlier, and they all have really intricate die cutting in it. And so I went ahead and cut them out in a little teeny tiny floral on black. And then I backed them in the green so that you could see the back. Instead of there being a pattern behind there, it's going to be a solid color green instead. On my first layout, I used punches, but I thought I'd use dies on this one. So the one flower well, all the flowers came from the same die set I showed as Memento. And I am going to just ink them all. The ink I'm using is it's Spellbinders Stamper's Journey, I think it's called. It's something along those lines anyway. And I used kind of a burgundy that was in the little 6x6 paper pad. And the only thing I use cardstock on is that one with the little spiky looking things, on there. I did use some cardstock on that. I couldn't find anything that I really wanted to use besides that color. I thought that color would go better. And I'm going to layer them. And the first one I layer, I think, oh, I forgot to curl my petals. So then I had to curl it and all the other ones too. But I, cut part of that out so you wouldn't have to see me do the same thing over and over. And I curled the bottom ones under and then the top ones up and just layered those pieces together. There is several pieces of wood grain in the 2 collections, there in the 12x12s, that is. And I think I've used up the 6x6 of them. But I decided to layer my photos in it. The first one, I layered them in green, and this one I'm doing in the wood grain. But I'm going to have some other wood grain papers on my layout too. Well, not papers, more like ephemera. That's what I'm going to have. Part of it, I think I fussy cut out of the papers. And as you can see that there is several pieces of ephemera and stickers laying on the first one. So I'm going to have several on this one. Only, I'm going to have more this time. The other one, like I said, I'm pretty sure I made it in Christina's class. So I was probably going 90 to nothing and trying to keep up, and probably did not put as much on there. And that might be the reason I use the punches too, because they are a lot faster than cutting out stuff with those really thin dies. This little green sticker, it says life is beautiful, and it was already layered from another layout. I think 2 layers, and then I went ahead and put the wood grain to make it match everything else. But I didn't take off the other layers. I just went ahead and left them. I don't like layers anyway, so I left them. The colors went great anyhow. The title's going to be the one that I just stuck down, and it says plant smiles, grow laughter, harvest love. And I thought that'd be a cute one for a title, because by the time I get done, there's not going to be room for a title. I did have the sticker sheet, and I thought about putting happy from it on here, but at the time I was thinking about that, I was going to back the photos in black and add some more black accents to the layout. But then I got the idea to do the wood grain, so the black kind of went out the door, and I ended up not using any stickers that were actually on the sticker sheet. I did use a couple, but they were from like another layout and were already off the sticker sheet. This little banner just says beautiful day. And I used that same one on the first layout. It's in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to have it below this picture right here instead this time around. And I'm trying to decide what I want in that upper left-hand corner. I had an idea, but either I used it over on the right-hand side or I misplaced it, because yeah, I couldn't find it. I couldn't remember exactly what it looked like, but I couldn't find it. So I put that other little piece up there, and that is something that was fussy cut out. And it has a little yellow flowers on there, but I am going to put another flower on top of it and cover that little yellow flower up. Well, I think it's 4 or 5 flowers, but it's going to get covered up. I'm putting my little buds down first, and then my larger flower, and tucking some greenery underneath it. And I'm going to go later with the punch, the little previous layout is covering up the punch that I'm going to use for the little flowers to scatter on the page. And they're the same ones that was on the first layout. I did think about die cutting some out. I had some in mind, but I couldn't find that die set. I'm not sure what exactly I did with it, but it wasn't where it belonged. So I tried another set. I didn't care for them. I would have had to do some fussy cutting or punching a little circle to go behind them or something like that. So yeah, they were pretty decoratively cut out, and maybe even more so than the butterflies. I love this little panel here, and I was gonna go ahead and let it hang off and cut the tip edge of it off, but then I thought, no, I really like it. I'm not wanting to cut the edge of it off. So I moved the photo over a tiny bit instead. And it does have one little yellow flower on there, but it's not as yellow as the ones up there at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it. The big flower, I am putting it on foam tape to make it stand up just a little bit higher. And when I go back to take the photos, I will put some foam tape under some of the leaves. Not all of them, just some of them here and there, to have them stand up just a little bit. So you will notice that in the final photos. But while I'm scattering flowers all over my layout, I want to mention that down there below you'll see the links to everyone else that are doing the hop today. And again, this hop is the Groundhog Day hop. So we are all just scrap lifting ourselves, doing something over again. And I don't know if Jacqie was serious, but she was talking about basically being a first annual hop, and then next year we would do the same layout and the same one again. I don't know. She sounded like she was joking about that, but you never know. But that girl can come up with some of the most fun things to do. Let's see where I'm at. Oh, I had to go ahead and cut a few more of the leaves, punch them out. I didn't have quite enough, so of course I had to ink them. And that color box ink right there, I found it in a drawer the other day. I was kind of thrilled. I loved this. I think I bought it 3 or 4 times when I was using it all the time, and then I couldn't find it no more. It's by Colorbox. And the thing is, it was still juicy. So it might have been a new one when it got left in there all alone. But I'm using it on my cardstock, and I just love that color. It's kind of an olive color. I don't know if it has a name on it or not, but I love that color. Here's that punch I was talking about, and I inked them all in the Rustic Rose too. I'm going to ink those little circles, and so I will have ink everywhere on my fingers, but that's fine. I really get into my layouts when I'm doing them, so I don't mind ink on them at all. Of course, this is all about plants and planting and gardening, I think, even though they're in a park. We had met for lunch one day. They live out of town and they had come through after going to her grandma's. And we had lunch and then we went to the park. And of course, I took my camera knowing that's where we were going next. But yeah, I just made sure I took lots of photos. And they were both good natured about it, as always. Um, let's see, where am I at now? I am, oh, I am adding some of the flowers. I am putting foam tape under some, and then some of the others I am not. And I think I'll be about done with this because I decided not to put any sequins on there or splatter. I did consider the splatter though. I did consider that. But I decided to go ahead and leave it and not put it on there after all. And as you can see, it's not exactly the same as the first layout. It is very similar, but it is not exactly the same. Both have 4x4 photos on there. And of course, the angle blocking and flowers. There's plenty of flowers. And then also I use some, well, I think most of it's fussy cut out of the 12x12 papers, probably the 3x4 cards and a couple of stickers. But yeah, it was fun to lay out and scrapbooking myself. I had a hard time deciding which one to do though. I am used to somebody else picking it for a challenge and me following along on the challenge. I am not used to picking them out myself. Mixed Media Frenzy, we took turns of picking one out. By the time I actually went to doing it, I wasn't sure which one I picked out or which one somebody else picked out. Unless it was a Missy Wooden one. I usually remembered if I picked that one out. But there's the two together. And yeah, you can see the similarities, but you can see the differences too. And there's my completed layout for today. And yeah, I like that die set with those flowers. They are a little bigger than I maybe would have planned, but I still like them because they're embossed and everything, so they look really pretty. I use pattern paper on the top layer of that flower and then a matching solid on the bottom. And there's the beautiful day. And then the butterfly, isn't that a pretty butterfly die? Oh, I love that one. And the other two too, because they all three are kind of on the intricate side. And there's the flower buds. I love that die right there. Because you can do more with it. You can do the stem and the buds and add a little variety. Or you can just do it all as one piece. And there's my embossed, I was thinking of the word, embossed leaves where I ran them through the embossing thing and made them kind of like a linen. You can tell it better on this one. But yeah, they're embossed. I didn't want to make them plain, so I went for the embossed. And so the centers of the flowers that are green are done with the same paper. I just used all the scraps that I had. And that one says, it's the little things in life And yeah, that visit was just a little thing, but I really enjoyed being with them. And so that's it. That's my layout. If you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. But I hope you all have a happy, scrappy week. Take care and stay safe. Have fun on the hop. Bye.